The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hi!
Oh. That's right. I forgot about the last one. I forgot what I did at the beginning of that one. Wait, was that the last one or was that 2 ago?
It's probably 2 ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo!
Well, welcome back to the Critshow, where we are playing the Clockwinders.
Tick, 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 tick.
I love this.
Ooh.
My God, what a powerful energy to start with. It's a shame that I won't be able to sustain it. Last time, each of our heroes had a little vignette for themselves, their individual contributions to the greater plan of restoring the Clockwinders to their former glory.
Little of vignette as a treat.
A little of vignette as a treat. Einon went and met with his old hunting buddy to collaborate on a manuscript about the swamps and how to exist in them and traverse them in case anybody goes out there to work the movement corps. Maxine had a conversation with Hector about the potential effects of ether and her family's history, and also mocking up some plans for how to start bringing in the new recruits. And Kade did an art project and had a conversation with Chief Forben, similarly kind of about the potential ramifications of ether use, and also a chat with Hector about the mechanics, the mechanisms of the cores and how those might interface with each other.
Sexy.
For an android. Yes, tell me how they interface. Never mind. I was about to just carry that on.
No, go ahead.
The voice or
No.
the topic?
Both.
Nice.
Both of them. So that brings us to the present. I think before we do anything, let's get a little bit of mechanical resolution on each of your vignettes, because each of you was trying to accomplish something, to create something. I want us to roll to see how effective that was, what you came up with, and what it is capable of. I think that each of these sounds like it's going to be a create an advantage roll, because you are trying to create. Well, it happens to be that each of you is creating a document. You are each creating a thing, but it is a truth now. It is something that exists and is true and could be utilized for benefit later on. So I think each of those auto-resolve as a create an advantage. We can do these in the same order that we did the vignettes in, so we can start with Maxine. So I imagine that each of these is probably just going to be a lore roll, because it's writing a book, or a pamphlet or whatever, but it's putting quill to paper. Have we established what the writing utensil is in this world?
I don't know. I love the idea that we have ice cream shops, but maybe not
pens.
a ballpoint pen.
I've got gel pens, but they're quills.
Hell yeah.
We know when matches and lighters were invented.
Yeah.
We've already come up to that.
Yeah.
So when was the pen invented? And then maybe we could determine
What year it is?
what year it is in this world.
320 BCE.
Not like a ballpoint pen.
You didn't say that.
Well,
This is reed pens. You want a metal pen?
I guess.
1822.
And then
In the 18th century, metal pens with steel nibs started to appear. You want a fountain pen? If you want a ballpoint pen, that's going to get you at 1888.
And when were matches and lighters?
I don't know.
I just remember that lighters were first.
Lighters were first, and that shocked me.
Yeah.
That shook me to my core.
Yeah. We had to take a break after that.
What's Tass doing on his phone? I can't tell if it's related or if he's playing a game.
He's almost caught a Squirtle.
I'm looking to see when ice cream was invented.
I regret.
Matches were invented in 1826.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with like not ballpoint pens, more like quills or like metal nib pens or something.
I still have glitter gel ones though.
I'm just
my
gonna refer to it
bullet
casually
journal.
as a pen.
Yeah. Talk more about your metal nibs,
I like to tweak them.
you old robot. That brings us full circle.
A very Android horny episode so far.
Smee wrote this episode.
This is his fan fiction of what he sees us doing every day.
Oh my God. For anyone that cares, Roman Emperor Nero is said to have sent his servants to the mountains to fetch snow to mix with nectar, fruit pulp, and honey in AD 54.
There we go. That one's safe then.
That's a sorbet.
I don't feel bad about having ice cream in here.
Yeah.
What we're rolling for?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing this and I'm running.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
Are we making 3 individual things, or are we like, should this be a group roll and we're making like a tome?
New Clockwinders Ether Swamps Handbook.
Yeah.
Hot off the press.
I was thinking about it as 3 individual things. It could be one. It could just be one big resource that contains all this stuff. I'm trying to think of, I guess I had a clear idea of what each like advantage would have been if they were individual things, because they were clearly like, this is this thing, this is this thing. But I mean, yeah, I guess like new Clockwinder training manual or whatever would be a catch-all that covers all of it.
I mean, can 2 things be true? What we're rolling for is functionally how good are the chapters? So it is like we're making this tome so that it is like, this is what they hand out for these new people that we hopefully get and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, you're going to the swamps, take the swamp handbook. But when they're out there, they're referring to these 3 different sort of chapters.
I don't feel like mechanically that would be any different from creating 3
Right.
documents. I think like what this mostly comes down to outside the narrative is if you make one thing, it only has the amount of invokes that one thing has. If you make 3 things, it could have the amount of invokes that 3 things could have.
Sure.
But if you make 3 things, the odds of one of them going wrong rise, because if you all teamwork on one thing, the odds of you fucking it up are pretty low.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know. I guess that's up to you guys. You could play it safer, but with less potential payout, or a little more risky, more potential payout.
I guess let's do them separate and see who's resting on their laurels when it comes to writing.
Hell yeah. Yes, let's get hostile towards each other. Okay.
It's going to be me. I was very bad at homework
Oh, no.
and writing, and I'm sure Kate is as well.
You are all going to roll to create an advantage. I believe this is going to be with lore, since it is writing related, and the difficulty is going to be pretty low, especially since each of you had somebody to assist. Like a 1. I think this is like average difficulty. You're just compiling thoughts to paper.
Okay.
17. I'm not rolling my fate dice. That was wrong.
I was like, excuse me?
That is impossible.
I was like, oh shit.
I'm on fire.
That's the best roll I ever had, and it wasn't even the right game.
Because nothing where you're rolling 2d6 would have a +5.
That's way worse, guys.
Oh, no.
In my defense, they look very similar
Yes,
from a distance.
They're similar colors.
3.
Okay, that is a success. You create an advantage with 1 free invoke. Rev, do you want to hand out sticky notes so that each person can create their advantage and we don't lose track of these?
Yeah. Also, some bookkeeping from last episode. I know that we haven't really talked about this. So, I have a little thing of sticky notes because we were writing down advantages and aspects that like we have free invokes on. And then I'm also making them for like the Clockwinders journal that Megan got off of the body, just so that we remember like, oh, that's a thing that can be invoked. It costs a fate point, but it's there.
Yeah.
Do I have those ether books? Like, did she leave those with me? Is that something I can keep on my person and invoke possibly in the future?
Sure.
Okay. It looked like I had just blown salt in your eyes.
I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about the ramifications of introducing any item and it accidentally becoming an aspect. Sure. But it makes sense.
Okay.
So, Megan, you create an advantage with 1 free invoke. Let's call it Clockwinders Personnel Guide. Tass, what'd you get?
This, I think, is my first 4 pluses roll of this campaign. So I got an overall 8.
Okay. Succeed with style. Yours gets 2 free invokes.
Okay.
Call it Swamp Survival Guide.
Yep.
And Rev.
4.
All right. That is also a success with style. 2 free invokes. I don't have a good name for this one off the top of my head. What do you got?
The Mechanist's Cookbook.
Okay.
So now we've created these, but we're really just giving them to you, aren't we? Because we created these, and we won't get invokes off of these because we know this stuff already. This is for the NPCs that we are helping.
That's right, nerds. Hand them over. Hand over your lunch money. Yeah, I'm not sure what the application of these will be because this is. I mean, it is primarily just your consolidated knowledge. These are things that you would just make lore rolls on. These will probably come down to things that NPCs could invoke in times of turmoil. I mean, I'm not going to close the door and say that there's no way you could ever utilize these. I just can't think of one off the top of my head.
Sure. Kind of like Einon's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tass is like, I didn't realize I'd be handing this over. Please don't judge me for what I've written.
Well, I wrote out the name of it. What the working title is: Einon, Kerning, and Everett's Ether Swamp Practical Guide to Survival.
Okay, that's wordy.
I was trying to make it longer, but I we're turning them in. So
Megan just handed me a blank Post-it note back.
I don't have a pen.
She didn't do the homework.
I have a stylus and a tablet. I don't know what you want. What are you pointing at? Those are headphones, Rev.
There's a writing
there's a
utensil
pencil
in front of
them.
you on the felt.
Nope.
Yeah.
There isn't. I don't see it.
We're all looking at it.
I
Just
don't.
reach,
I literally
just
don't
reach
see
your
it.
hand
On
over.
the felt.
Oh, you're so close to
You're
it.
so close.
There you
Ah.
go.
You got it. You got it.
Here you go.
No, take this back. Write
Damn
the thing
it.
you're supposed to write. Do your homework.
pass it down.
Mechanist cookbook.
All right. So with the handbook in hand,
Wow.
hence the name, we can jump back into it. Believe where we left off, the main thing that was happening was that Kade was rushing to Maxine
Oh, yes.
with new, exciting information.
Yeah.
So you rush back inside the Dawn Palace, up into the records room, and fucking kick open the door. Dust and papers go everywhere.
Yeah.
The breeze knocked everything that was sitting on a table just all over the room.
Into the fireplace that's going in here.
That's exactly what keeps happening to all the records. Drafty doors and fireplaces.
And I have that on a cross stitch in my home.
Nice. Hey, good news.
Oh?
Just because I've got ether in me doesn't mean it's automatically going to kill me. I was thinking that I was kind of like a movement core and how they automatically start to break down. There's no stopping it. But apparently, because I'm not a machine, that's not how it works. So I guess it still matters like what we do with the time we've got between now and when we die, but it's not as eminent as I thought it was. So I didn't want you to have that idea in your head that I was like, oh, I'm going to die now. I got to burn the candle as fast as I can.
Okay, great. Kade, does this mean you're not going to be putting ether webs on every monster you see?
Not every, but I am going to take some time to read up on it and understand it better. End of sentence.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
I love studying. If you want to go through some books that I have, let's see. This one, no, that one's not good. Okay, here you go. So here's just some Clockwinder stories that my grandma had shared with me. You know how we told you about her friend?
Yeah.
Well, she started using ether and then really started using ether. She let it consume her and, well, she stopped being a Clockwinder because of it. And nobody knows what happened to her. She just kind of disappeared.
Why would you give this up?
What do you mean?
Like, I can't imagine I start doing something else and it's like, oh, the Clockwinder stuff isn't enjoyable anymore. I don't want to do that. Like, that's ridiculous. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. That's what I mean. It was that powerful, I think. It must have been, right? To convince someone that this isn't what they are supposed to be doing?
Maybe. I was going to say I don't want to speak ill of the dead. I don't know that she's dead. Maybe she wasn't that good at it. And so it felt better to use ether because it was something that she just had an affinity for. You know, like how sometimes you got a talent and it wants to be used. Maybe that was the thing she was best at.
Oh, right. I mean, I'm sure she thought that it was the right thing to do, or she wouldn't have decided to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just that, well, if you keep using it, use it more than you have to, or you think you're using it the right amount, and that amount becomes more and more, well, I guess I'm just afraid that you're gonna want to do that instead of being here. And then I won't see you again anymore, because maybe you'll disappear too.
Look, I'm not going anywhere. Like, there's not any amount of ether that's gonna make me not want to do all of this stuff with you and with Smee. Like, this is what makes sense to me. And I thought that the whole ether thing was, like, gonna interrupt that or cut it short, but it's never gonna become more important. Like, yeah, I realize that people are like, oh, it's never gonna, but I think I found my calling, like the thing I'm good at. So if that's what you're worried about, I'm always gonna be by your side.
I'm really glad to hear that. I was talking with Hector about my grandmother and her friend earlier. He knew them, and he said something about being strong enough to withstand the corruption. I think we just have to remember that strength looks different for everyone, right? It's your will, your ability to withstand it, but I mean, we don't know what that feels like, right?
Yeah.
So I guess if this is an ability that we have, we'll just have to keep an eye on each other and make sure that if it seems like one of us is having to utilize more willpower than normal, we'll say something, okay?
Yeah. And I think that Einon's going to be keeping an eye out too, because he really wants to talk about this. And I keep giving him the now. But you need to be aware that whenever you decide to talk about this, he really wants to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know, I can tell. He's trying to hide it, but he's not good at that. He's good at, like, tracking and hunting things, but, like, hiding how excited he is about this stuff is just not his strong suit.
Yeah, again, everybody's got different strengths.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guys, what are we talking about? I hope it's not ether.
I wish you all could have seen the hand gestures that Tass did with that.
It was a very, like, please dust my wets hand gestures.
Fuck ads. Just go. We'll be back in a second.
Take your ads and go.
Yeah.
So, a couple of days go by as you are all working on your documents, putting the finishing touches on them, collaborating with your various helpers and friends. And Chief Forben summons all of you back to her office. When you arrive, she is standing behind her desk, looking out the window. She's got a big window that overlooks that field with the glyph stones that she had taken you to. She turns to face all of you and she says, okay, I've got a plan in motion. I called in some favors with the city, and she like kind of takes a big breath in. We're going to have a parade.
just the thought that somebody needs to work up the ability to say the word parade. That was in character.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really. We're going to put you and some of our other agents and, I don't know, some of our cool stuff on floats, and we're going to walk it through the streets, and we're going to wave to the townsfolk and try to woo them.
Does 12 people make a parade, or is that just like a procession?
I don't know. I don't think there is a difference permit-wise between 12 and, like, 112.
Yeah. Do we need to, like, zhuzh this up a bit? Should we go see if we can find some performers or something to walk in the front of it? Or, like, because it's just, oh, hey, look at us and our wrenches.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, she's keeping a tight, heavy lid on it. I'm just struggling.
Because we're going to kind of look like a gang.
Yes.
If it's us in uniform with giant wrenches.
Well, it has been sanctioned, to be fair. We're not just, like, getting out there and taking over the streets.
Sure.
Like a gang maybe want to do.
I don't think gangs usually, like, wave at people and, like...
Or travel by float. I don't think.
Not usually.
They'd be a lot cooler if they did.
Maybe we can throw candy.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. This may shock you all. Come in close. She leans forward on the desk. Everybody get in here close. I don't know how to plan a parade.
Yeah.
So any ideas that you all have, yes, I am amenable to. Let's hear them. Let's enact them. You want to get some performers? Please go find somebody who can twirl a baton in the front or whatever. That sounds great. We just need to win the hearts of the people one way or another. It's not like in Anything Goes. I say one way or another, like kindly with kindness.
Win the hearts of the people by force.
Yeah, not that way.
Yes, I think that should be fairly simple to organize a bit of music, and yes, I think we could really add to this. We are starting off this campaign with quite a bang, I'd say.
She kind of shakes her head in disbelief. Yup, apparently we are.
Quite a bang! Fireworks!
Oh, that's interesting.
We should make a float of the clock tower that we fixed.
And then blow it up! No, sorry. I saw a parade once when I was a kid. It was very elaborate, and I'm just really excited about that. That may send the wrong message, though.
Yeah, that might look sort of like an attack.
Yeah, that sounds like a threat.
Yeah. Then we'd have to wear these Guy Fawkes masks.
This fox guy, man.
This Fox guy.
Oh, yes, one of the Wilders.
Yeah.
A notorious fey criminal.
Fox guy.
Chief Forben kind of gives you the go-ahead to enact whatever thoughts you want. She lets you know that the parade is going to be 2 days from now.
In 20 minutes.
Real slipshod. Real ramshackle organization. No, it'll be in 2 days, so you got a couple days to prepare stuff. You got a couple days to go find people. She also gives you a very limited pool of discretionary funds. A very small amount of money, what they can spare, which you basically watch her turn her pockets inside out. That's all she's got. But she gives you a little bit of money to grease the wheels if you need it.
Oh, don't worry. I can definitely make this stretch.
She says, perfect. I'm counting on it. Now get out there. Make the best parade, and maybe only parade, that the Clockwinders have ever put on.
Feels like there's a lot of weight resting on us if this might be the only one. Is it because of the quality of what we produce? And they'll be like, yeah, no more?
I just don't think we've ever done one before.
Ah, I see.
I think this is uncharted territory.
Well, if this all goes well, the idea will be that in the future they will be throwing parades for us.
Yeah, maybe on the anniversary of the date you fixed the last movement core.
There we are.
Powerful thinking. Yes. Get the hell out of my office.
All right.
Dismissed. Go.
I salute.
She's really been pushing the dismissed order, at least recently.
Yeah, so what ideas do you have for a parade?
I would look for musicians, like troubadours that might, be able to come and we'll have a band on the float or marching with it or whatever I can find, whatever the highest quality I can get to do fun music for us.
Okay.
I'm trying to get fireworks.
Okay.
I am going to find some kids who are excited about SME.
Okay.
Some kids who are excited about robots.
All right. You're going to, hey kids, look at this cool robot. Hop in.
Come chase it.
The idea would be to have them make something that they would then walk in the front of the parade with this thing that they've made that could be a machine one day.
Okay.
Like puppetry, kind of?
Kind of.
Okay, cool.
Kind of, but how not?
Because it could be like a walking science fair. It could be just a poster of a drawing.
One of those trifold.
Oh. Yeah, they're a machine that blocks out the sun so we can have shade. Or
here's my hypothesis.
Yeah.
A machine that blocks out the sun because I'm evil.
That kid is canon.
A shrink ray because I'm evil.
He keeps bringing me different ideas, and all of them are evil.
You're I really regret introducing you to this possibility.
I'm going to be the greatest clockwinder ever.
You're I love where so much of your head's at. There's just one part, and it's the motive.
He's leading the parade, and he's just yelling, "We will own you all!"
Oh, God.
We will blot out the sun. You will beg for our mercy.
You will bow to the Clockwinders.
Kade's just ignore him. Ignore what he's saying.
But yeah, the idea of getting kids involved so that the adults and the parents are oh, this is so cool. They're excited about this.
So the adults are Why is my child out there?
Why have you stolen our children?
Okay. We have to save that one for last. So let's start with let's just start in the order they were presented. Let's start with Tass.
Okay.
So you want to go find some musicians.
Yeah. This be like contacts, maybe?
Yeah, I think contacts works if you're trying to say, like, let me consult my Rolodex of people I know. Are there any musicians in it? Then yes, contacts would be the way to do it.
Okay.
I think that this will be a create an advantage with contacts to figure out like who it is and kind of what's true about them. So creating an advantage with contacts allows you to know who the perfect person to talk to is for anything you might need, or to decide that you know the perfect person already. And then you can create story details with this skill. So an example in the book is like, my contacts tell me that Joe Steele is the best mechanic for 1,000 miles. That's like the advantage you've created. That's the aspect.
Cool.
So I don't think that this will inherently make them do what you want. That'll probably be another thing later. But this will tell you who they are and what their deal is.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll to create an advantage with contacts. When assigning a difficulty, like if you're just like, where's a place to get music people? I don't feel like that would be hard at all. But if there's something more specific or like black market, I guess, that you're trying to figure out, that might raise the difficulty. So what exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for like a popular jam band, like the people that they pull into the most popular, pubs and stuff like that. They might even, go to any of the venues in town and sell tickets and just have like live shows. I'm just looking for like the popular band.
Okay. I feel like that's maybe fair difficulty. That's not something everyone's going to know, or even most people would know, but I don't think it's super hard to track down.
Okay.
So trying to beat a 2.
Okay. That is a 2.
All right. So in the event of a tie, I feel like this is an existing aspect that you're revealing. Like these guys were there, which would still get you 1 free invoke. So I don't think you need to like try and bump it up to a success or anything, because you're still going to get your free invoke off them.
Okay.
What do we think this is called? Like Rad Jam Band?
Yeah, absolutely.
The raddest jam band in town.
I like that.
Okay. Write that down with 1 free invoke. So you do learn about this group. They were like hot shit at one of the academies in the city in a more formal, traditional music program. And then they were kind of like, lame, we're going to do our own thing. And they branched off. And so they've got kind of a small cult following of like people who knew them there or have discovered them since. And they will be playing a gig tonight where you could track them down.
Okay.
Let's jump over to Maxine for the moment. Maxine, you're looking for fireworks?
Yeah.
All right. How do you think you're going about that?
Well, my first thought was, is there a party store? But probably not.
In my mind, not the kind you're looking for.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a little more black market-y.
Compared to Penn's, when did Party City come up?
Yeah, so I think this is like, I could find some fireworks, but I want this to be like spectacular. I've decided Maxine likes fireworks all of a sudden.
Okay.
So I think I'm looking for like the good shit.
Okay. I think we're going to start the same way. This is probably going to be a contacts to create an advantage. And this is going to be more difficult.
That's fair.
I'm waffling between a 3 and a 4. I don't think it's of great difficulty.
I'm not looking for a kidney.
Yeah. I think it is of good difficulty, though, if you're looking for some seedy back alley dealer of fireworks. So go ahead and roll to create an advantage with contacts. Trying to beat a 3.
6.
Okay, that is a success with style. You will get 2 free invokes off this one. What do we want to call this one? That could be utilized later.
Guaranteed crowd pleaser.
I like the track you're on. It should be true about the person, not like the item.
Oh, it is.
And it could be, but I'm not sure how that one would be utilized quite so clearly. What could be true about this person that could be useful to you? Because again, you're going to have to go talk to them still, so it could either be useful in interacting with them or maybe utilizing their stuff later.
Is it something where it's like the things that they're selling may not be within the most strictest confines of what's allowed, but it's always good quality? Like their goods are trustworthy?
All right, so call it quality merchant in quotation marks,
Yeah.
with questionable sources. So you learn of this seedy merchant named Grayson Malinzak, and you find that he keeps storefront would maybe be a generous way to refer to it, but in one of kind of the more questionable districts of the town. You find out where he hangs out and can be reached. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait for like nighttime or some other opportunity to go chat with him?
No, I'm good to do it now.
Once again, I said nighttime as if there
Yep.
was going to be a change of daylight. There's not. Clock night. All right. You head to this kind of seedy part of town. Sun's Edge doesn't get like that in your face, seedy or dangerous. It is one of like the oldest settlements in the world. So there's a lot of history and there is a decent amount of like decay here, but you're not like in imminent physical danger just by walking anywhere. So you turn the corner and see this little like stand, this little kind of I'm all I can picture is like a produce stand or a kissing booth, but it's something like that.
That's fireworks.
It's got
Yeah.
4 posts.
I love that.
It's got some crates that are like set up as the counters. It's got a little bit of like a sunshade made of some old blankets over top. And this guy is just kind of sitting on a barrel under there. He's just watching passersby, kind of like nodding at people as they go by, like trying to catch someone's eye, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Hello. How are you?
Ah, good day. Welcome, my favorite customer. What's your name?
My name? I'm Maxine Hollis. Nice to meet you.
Maxine, it is nice to meet you. My name is Grayson. What can I do for you on this fine day?
Well, Mr. Grayson, I've been told that you are the person to talk to if I wanted to acquire some fireworks.
His eyes kind of narrow and like dart back and forth, like looking at who else is around.
I don't look anywhere else except just make direct eye contact with him.
I think you might have been misinformed there, miss. That sort of thing might be considered illicit goods.
Oh, well, that's such a shame. All right, well, I guess I'll just have to go look elsewhere. Thank you, though. And I'll turn around and start walking away.
Well, now wait a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Suppose I knew somebody who might have pertinent information on where you could acquire such a thing. Would you be interested in that?
Oh, absolutely.
I might have a friend with whom I could serve as the go-between.
Oh, well, let's just say that I've been told that you are somebody who was very reliable. And it's not that I want to doubt your contacts. It's just that now bringing somebody new into the mix, it's kind of hard to just trust them out of the gate with nobody I know having backed them up.
And who do you know that backed me up, that you're willing to trust me?
My friend Jeremy?
Jeremy's a good guy. I like him. I know him. I know that one. Give me a rapport roll.
Okay.
Roll to overcome with rapport. I don't think this one's going to be super challenging either. Say we're trying to beat it 2. Fair difficulty.
That's 5.
All right. Yeah, you seem to be winning him over. He says, well, any friend of Jeremy's is a friend of mine. So, yeah, I figure maybe I can help you out. What are you looking for? I know fireworks, but like anything more specific than that. I got the ones that you throw on the ground and they pop. I got the ones that you light and they spin, make colors.
I get closer and kind of like lean my elbows on the counter. Well, I'm thinking of something a little more on the heavier pyrotechnic side.
Snakes. You want a creeping snake. I got those.
Do you have any snakes that will travel along a road with something like a parade?
Like they just keep growing longer, or like they're moving?
I'll take whatever you have. We're doing a parade, you see.
I figured.
I know I said it was like a parade, but
Yeah, it was really specific, so I kind of figured it was a parade.
just really looking for something to capture people's attention.
Okay. And what kind of funds you got here?
Well, that's the thing. I don't have a lot. What could I get for this? And I'll pull out like a third of what Forben gave me.
It's a very humble amount of currency right there.
Nebulous currency that I refuse to put a name or number to.
That's not a ton. You could get a box of Snap and Pops and
Mr. Grayson,
a box of sparklers.
well, okay, the sparklers, actually, that might be a good idea, but I don't think the snaps will be very useful in a parade. It might just seem scary.
They'll get attention, though.
But I don't want people to think that we're throwing explosives at them. I want them to be wowed.
What if you hand them out to the onlookers?
But
so they
I'm
can
in
play
the
with it?
parade. Okay, you know what? Maybe this was a bad idea.
No, wait. No, hold on. I got the stuff. I got better ideas. Just give me a second.
God, I love him.
It's in the name of my aspect.
I'll tell you what. If you can double that currency, I can hook you up.
I don't know if I can double it, but I guess if I don't buy groceries tomorrow, I could maybe throw in this much more.
Perfect. Hey, don't buy groceries for 2 more days, then you double it. That's exactly what I'm asking.
And I'll pull out like a small amount more than what I had.
All right, fine. Yeah, he takes it, and he gets down underneath the counter and starts like rifling around in some of these crates that make up the counter. And he like pops his head back up. Hey, you got a way to carry these without prying eyes getting all over them? I'm just saying this is going to draw some questions if you just parade it around. I was trying to think of a different word than that, but I couldn't.
Not currently, but I do have a way that I can do that in a little bit. I just have to go grab a friend of mine.
Okay, I'll get your order together. I'll get it all packaged up nice. You come back with a covert means of conveyance.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm going to go find Smee.
Okay. Where's Smee? Is he with you?
Yeah, I would assume.
I wondered if he just like had a doghouse that he just kicks it in.
Ran his own errands.
Yeah, you just see me running up. Kade, hi. Do you mind if I borrow Smee? I just need to transport some illegal goods.
Oh, that's of course. Why else would you need him?
That's what I built him for.
Yeah, I just need him back. He's a key component to my plan. And if he's not there, it's just going to make it even worse than it already sounds.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long at all. Just don't throw any lit flames inside him. Smee, come on, let's go.
All right. You and Smee hustle back towards Grayson's bazaar.
Just the look on his face as this robot charges.
My covert means of hiding.
Yeah. You and Smee turn the corner, and he looks and he does a double take. He's like, "Oh yeah, real understated. Good call. Now you've just added a big shiny orb to your travels."
Yeah, but nobody's gonna look inside the orb. And I open up a hatch on Smee.
He's like, "Oh, all right, you have my respect."
He starts giving me the fireworks, and I pull out my Clockwinders badge. Gotcha, bitch.
Move in. Smee just grabs him with 2 legs and crams him in the hatch. Folds him in half.
You've been watching too much Reacher.
Yeah, he starts handing over like small paper wrapped, oddly shaped packages from under the counter over the top, handing them to you to place inside of Smee. I think you're going to be happy with this loadout. I got a couple that will sort of dance in a straight line. So if you launch them off right at the beginning, they should kind of chase your procession as you go. I got a couple of the ones that shoot a big thing up in the air, goes boom, makes lights.
Oh, good.
And I got a couple that do like a whizzy spinny thing, so they make fun lights and sounds.
Amazing. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a couple other like miscellaneous ones in there, so I don't know exactly what your plans are, but hopefully they'll serve your purposes.
Well, it's a parade, so we're just gonna...
Okay. I know it's a I just mean I don't know. Never mind. It's good doing business with you. Tell Jeremy I said hi. Come back anytime.
I will. Thank you. And Smee and I will head back to Kade. All right, here you go.
Thanks. And so no open flames inside of Smee.
No.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. And I'll give him a pat and then head out.
All right, Kade, you are back in possession of a Smee that is filled to the brim with explosives, but you don't know that.
Yep.
So what are you doing?
I am taking Smee on a walk through the town and just trying to ask people like, hey, are you... fuck.
Yes, let's go. Hey, got any kids?
This is a great example. I feel like Arkady is very good at what he does and not very good at anything else. Like, this idea is the best laid plans of mice and men. What he wants to do is he wants to go out and find some young people who would be excited about robots and be like, hey, do you want to learn about Clockwinders or be a Clockwinder, and have them like build things or like paint them so that they look like little robots and have them be part of the procession.
What on earth skill do we think this is?
It probably doesn't matter because I'm sure I don't have it.
It doesn't feel like a contacts.
Yeah.
You're not going to be
I
like,
don't already know.
I
some kids.
know just the kids for the job.
Science boys.
I've heard tell of kids who, in bold letters, like be robots. That's their aspect. Love science.
Excited about science, yeah.
I don't know that there is a role for the first part of this. I think it's just a big investment of time. Like, I think, like, Maxine went and knocked hers out in a fucking morning, and theoretically, Einon's going to get his in a day. I think, like, these 2 days that you have are all spent just, like, wandering and Pied Pipering kids who like science. Like, just adding more. Come on, join the procession.
Yeah.
So the first part, I don't think has a role, and the second part, I think we're just going to kind of obfuscate one big rapport role into, like, the interaction with all of them in total.
Okay.
Oh, but then we don't get an advantage out of it.
Okay, can I let me pivot on this just a little bit. What if I try to find like a teacher, like someone who would already know, like, oh yeah, these are kids who are excited or interested in this topic, and then it also creates like a figure that is part of this that the parents would already know.
Yes, I think that makes sense. And that is something that we could do a contacts on.
Okay.
Then. All right, yeah, same deal. Roll to create an advantage with contacts. Trying to decide how difficult this one is, because this is like, it's not just any teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a teacher of kids that would be excited by this prospect.
Yeah, it's like a science teacher.
I'm going to say you're trying to beat a 2. I think
Okay.
this is fair. I don't think it should be as difficult as a black market fireworks dealer, so.
Finding a good science teacher is...
You're right, actually, it's probably harder.
Well, I should try again, because that's a -3.
Oh no!
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
Do you have any contacts?
No.
Okay, so that's just almost as bad as it can possibly be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess if you had contacts and still got a -3.
I got one contact. I mean, how hard could it be? Right? Finding a science teacher, how hard can it be?
That's a very powerful aspect.
It is. It's supposed to be
I feel
my trouble.
Yeah.
I have had the thought that I'm going to rename it because I think I know now what Cade's trouble is.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, I can't see any possible reason why not. So spend your fate point, and you can go for the whole reroll.
-2.
Oh, man. Do you want to spend any more?
I mean, I could do the mechanist because that's sciencey and
It makes sense that you would know people in the field.
Okay, so I'm going to invoke the mechanist, and then I'm going to invoke wary of authority because I'm not going to a school that's too strict because they probably won't let him be a part of a parade.
Okay.
You seem like you're on the fence about that one.
All right, so that gets you to a 2,
Yeah.
which is a tie.
Yeah.
So, like Tass's, I think this is an existing aspect. This place and these people exist, and these things are already true about them. So the tie will get you 1 free invoke.
Okay.
We're going to call this
Cool school.
Cut Rate Magnet School Science Program. Yeah, so you know of this teacher who runs like the science program at this school. Her name is Alaya Epps, and it's a weekday, so class is in session anytime you want to go try and talk.
Perfect. I suppose I should do that right now.
Okay. You head down to the school. You catch her on her on the lunch break. I have to assume that school security and shit works differently in this world. You are just able to walk in and find her at the table in the break room where she's eating her lunch, and she looks up and kind of does a double take. She looks surprised to see you. Hey,
how are you?
I'm all right. I'm sort of at work right now. What's going on?
We're gonna have a little bit of a parade in a couple of days.
You and me?
Maybe. That's what I'm here to ask you about.
Oh, I was joking. What do you want me for a parade for?
Well, I thought that you and maybe some of your students might be interested. It's going to be a Clockwinders parade because we've just fixed 2 of the movement cores, and we want to kind of show the townspeople that we're on the track again to get a better name and that we're setting things right.
Are you serious? You fixed 2 of the movement cores?
Yeah.
How'd you get to a second one before I heard about the first one?
Well, they were kind of sitting on the first one, I think, just to see if we came back from the second one so that they wouldn't get, like, people's hopes up. But now that we have done 2, like, we've been out into the world and made it back in, they're willing to talk about it.
She, like, stands up and comes to give you a hug.
Yeah, I'll go back.
That's huge. That's awesome, man. Good job.
Thanks. So, yeah, it's we're trying to get it back to the mindset of like, this is something cool you can do. It's not something you get instead of jail time.
Yeah.
That's a rough patch.
Rough era.
In history.
Ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what, you want to like talk to the kids and...
Well, I thought it might be fun to like have some of the kids come along and either, something that they've built that someday could be made into a machine, or, we could do some face paint and, get them to look like little automatons, or, have a couple ride on Smee's back just to make them part of it and get them excited about it.
I mean, I think that sounds great. I think you're going to have to pitch it to them, though.
Oh, God. Don't make me...
Oh, no.
Rev actually shriveled at that.
Oh, no, don't.
Oh, no, I have to talk to fictional children.
This is why I created you.
Guys, you're my go-between. Yeah, okay.
She's like, I can schedule a field trip for tomorrow. That's fine, but I can't force him to come along.
Sure, yeah. Okay, let's wait until lunch break is over and see if we get some kids excited about a science parade.
Okay. You hungry? You want like a yogurt?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. She gets in the fridge and grabs a yogurt that somebody else's name is written on the top of, and she peels the lid off and throws it in the trash. Hands her the yogurt.
I open up Smee to get my spoon and wonder at the smell of gunpowder.
All right, yeah, you kill the lunch break with her and follow her back to her next class, and she like leads you into the classroom. All the kids are kind of rowdy at the desks, and she like gets all their attention. She's like, "We got a very special guest today. This is one of my old friends, Arkady Atwater, one of the best scientists I've ever known, and he's got a fun idea for you guys."
Well, I'm less of a scientist, more of a mechanist. I work on movement cores and machines.
What's a movement core?
It's a thing that makes anything like Smee here move.
Some other kid's like, "What? I thought they were the things that stop the planet from rotating."
Well, I mean, they are, but it's real hard to distinguish. Apparently, anything that's mechanical and moves also has a movement core in it.
And you work on them?
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's fun. It's just like anything. You gotta work at it. You gotta train.
My mom said that there used to be Clockwinders that worked on the movement cores, but then they all got lazy and then they stopped doing their jobs.
That's not entirely incorrect.
Are you one of the criminals that got a job there?
Yes,
Oh,
but
what'd you do?
no, I used to be a criminal. I'm not anymore. Like, I didn't become
My mom says people don't change. The world just changes around them.
Your mom just says that because she's unhappy in a marriage.
Tell us your crimes. Tell us your crimes. Tell us your crimes.
Tell us your crimes.
I was a burglar, but I'm not anymore.
What's a Lorgabor?
I liberate things from places they don't want to be.
English class tells me that liberation is a good thing.
Exactly.
So why was it a crime?
Because the bourgeoisie, they want to keep control of the means of production and keep it out of the hands of the working class.
Hey, watch this. Ugh. Ta-da!
He's not one of the science kids, is he?
He's not representative of the rest of us. Please ignore him.
Look how fast I am.
That's actually pretty fast.
Elia leans up. That's one of the PE kids.
Every kid has a major. That's the only thing you study.
The school system in this world is baffling. Magnet schools, science programs, no security, take kids to parades, majors. Elia leans over to you and she's like, "Will you just get to the point?"
They're very persuasive kids.
You just gotta power through.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a parade, and so if you all want to be part of that parade, if you're into science, you can join the parade. So if you maybe want to be a clockwinder in the future, because it's no longer going to be a punishment, and you get to work on things like Smee and go out and see the world.
All right. Give me an overcome roll with rapport.
Fuck.
You're trying to beat a -2. Because kids will do any goddamn thing to not be in class.
I'm out of fate points.
-2.
All right, you tied it. So you either get what you want on the minor cost or you get a lesser version. I'm going to say that the minor cost is they'll dress up like robots and shit, but they want to dress you up like a cardboard robot too.
That's fair.
And you got to be at the middle.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Fucking square deal. I love this.
I'm supposed to be being honored in this. No one will ever see my face.
You can take off the cardboard robot head when it's time for your speech or whatever.
If I stab you, will I be a clockwinder?
It's not Highlander, kid.
The quickening. It's the quickening. I feel it. He just starts sprinting at you with scissors.
We're about to learn how many 8-year-olds Smee can beat up.
She's like, this is another one of the PE kids. God. All right.
I leave the school.
Yeah, you do. You leave the school a hero. And that is where we're going to leave off for this one. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of The Crit Show, where we play the Clockwinders.
Goodbye.
Hey,
There's more.
Oh, fuck.
If you are interested in any information about the game or the setting, you could find that in the episode description /show notes. I use those terms interchangeably. If you want to encounter anything else that we have made, check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/thecritshow. We have dozens or hundreds of hours worth of additional content. And if you become a patron, you can get your name read at the end of the show, just like Curtis Brown. Thank you. Thank you to everyone for listening. Join us next time for another episode of The Crit Show, and everybody say goodbye.
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 The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritshow.